everything. It really is. It's just an animation. So I really don't think it's going to have an effect what people think it is. Yeah, I mean, I can tell you certain things. I mean, this first part, like, I'll tell you certain things. I mean, most of it is simply just follow the path and you're fine. No change. I mean, if you follow the run for everything, but I mean, some areas is like, yeah, you gotta make sure you hit a specific load zone. And there are a few minor things I can talk about. Like this right here, we're just running around this rock here, and it'll hit a load zone that triggers the mammoth to start moving. So.
The board is green. Shut down that ground.
How did I lose so much time with one death? Because my world record run was horrible for Infinity. I did very, very poorly on Infinity. That's kind of how it works. It's just that Infinity is horrible. So yeah, Infinity is a big time save area, and I had like a very, 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 very good Infinity on top of that. And I reset earlier than I would have died. I still probably would have survived, but then I would have ended up glitching out, doing a bunch of things. So I ended up saving time because of just how bad my Infinity is in world record. So.
Captain Del Rio, targeting Pelicans are in position near the particle cannons, waiting for the Mammoth's mini-mac to take them out.
Yeah, I do agree with Sub. Is like I understand change in sequence and stuff does destroy what was originally like what the original stamp drew people to the game. And I understand that, and I do see where that's playing, but I mean, to be honest, you can't have Halo CE. You can't have every Halo game be Halo CE, right? The game's gotta evolve somehow, and so change is how it happens. And I mean, it sucks, but I mean, it's how it works. Because eventually, if you just keep making the same thing over and over again, people lose interest. So.
Alright. Pelican out in the muck. Anyone still alive?
Oh shit, I missed the rock.
We're here. We're alive. Got the target designator.
I mean, we're going around because just earlier area to get the...
Target those phantoms for the railgun to shoot down.
Alright, so this area, the trick here that, you know, you can't really see by me playing it is, on the top screen you see it says current objective. You want, before you make this jump here, like, before you make this river jump, make sure that current objective locates second Forerunner cannon, disappears. If you don't, you actually have a chance to despawn the mammoth, which is a lot like the Scarab deload. That if you go too fast, you actually deload the mammoth, or the Scarab, and you softlock the game, so. Now, the COD community is nothing like the Halo community, I agree. But I mean, COD also has a way bigger community. And I do. I really like Bungie. I think they're a great company. The fact that I don't like people thinking that Bungie is the perfect company and they do nothing wrong. It's a company, and they're a game company like every other game company. They make mistakes. There's no problem with that. It doesn't make them a bad company. I don't think Bungie's a bad company at all. I think they're a fantastic company. But, yeah, no, I'm just... People always see Bungie in a golden light, and you know, the perfect child kind of deal. It's not true, so.
2 for 2, finish him off. Shield disabled. Mammoth.
Why didn't they patch the shield bypass here? Because they didn't patch anything, Lucario. They patch 0 things. And you can't just patch things in games. It's not as simple as like, hey, release an update and patch it. When it comes to certain map collision like this, campaign maps and things, It's not like you can make an update to just make this thing to no longer exist. It's hard-coded into the game and you can't change it. So they would have needed to, like, when making the game, they would have needed to fully, like, change how that barrier worked and how the collision of it worked. So, I mean, they don't change it, one, because they didn't change anything in the Halo 1, in Halo 3 or 4. But, like, trick-wise... Oh, shit. Oh, so, I didn't explain, but the reason why I put the ghost here is simply for this. When you jump off the lich, the reason I don't shoot early is because, one, you want to get on the lich, and two, you want to get this ghost so you can just book it down. And now what you want to do is you want to wait here for about 5 seconds, and you can actually deload this faster. Once it kind of gets like to this super sideways downward angle, it explodes and you just start moving. So it actually hits the load zone a bit faster, so you actually want to do that. Yeah, and I do apologize, I'm not explaining everything, but I mean, all of it is pretty simple. I mean, it's just kind of like follow what I'm doing. You know, jump through the barrier with the ghost, jump the river so that you don't have to worry about getting in the mammoth. Make sure to be careful to not go too early.
I'm sending teams out to pull some of their fire off you so you can make it to the gravity well.
42 minutes to work.
Roger that, sir. Gypsy, let's move.
Reinforcements.
I mean, and as much as I say it, and as much as we would love to, game companies won't listen 100% to the community. Don't forget, the game designers and stuff, they're professionals. They know what they're doing. Communities, like, they recommend, like, oh, no sprint, some things like that. But when a game designer looks at the game and they hear this feedback, a lot of times they're just like, alright, these people don't actually know what they're talking about. We have sprint in for a specific reason. Anyways, really quick. You want to run here and you want to jump into this crack, but make sure you hit the load zone. A lot of people keep like telling me like, hey, I did what you did, but when you do the jump through the rock there doesn't spawn for me. Reason being is they don't actually hit the load zone. They go over to that area, but they don't actually wait for the load zone to trigger. If you don't get the load zone trigger, you don't actually, nothing loads. It defeats the purpose of running down there. It was just like you came right over here and started to do this trip back over. But no, it is like, they are really good at their jobs, and they know what they are doing more than what some 14-year-old kid who plays Call of Duty all the time knows, kind of deal. So it's one of those, like, you gotta remember, game companies do know what they are doing, like game designers and stuff. So when they have sprint and armor abilities, and they keep it in for a specific reason. They may not tell us why, but they do have it in for a specific reason. They're doing it for a reason. So
we're entering the Forerunner structure. Breaking up, but coordinates received, Infinity.
Right.
Heads up.
Interesting. Alright. Now, the reason I run against that wall is it gives me more lift. So if you have trouble getting up here, you want to run against the wall and then jetpack right as you kind of hit that slant. And then, for this, you wait for the elevator to start closing, then you book it and jump off. You start jetpacking. Now, this is a time trick. If you leave too early and you just jump off immediately, you're not going to make it. You make it, but the game soft locks. So, once you make it here, you want to sprint off to kind of the side and then just jetpack into the room. You gotta get in here before the area loads, otherwise you get locked outside the map. That's the hardest trick in the game right there. So...
The particle cannon network must use these arrays for targeting and guidance. It's an automated system, so it won't technically allow me to redirect the cannons to fire on one another.
So far, good run. I don't know, I don't feel great because I've been talking about just my strong opinions about game companies, things like that right now. But no, I'm a big fan of it because of they really, like, You know, listening to the community and supporting the community are two different things. They are amazing supporting the community, and they do listen. You may not always see it, and you may not always realize it, but they are listening, and they are doing a good job. Yeah, they know they screwed up in the Halo 4. Hell, they said it at the panel. At the PAX panel this year, they straight up were like, we heard your complaints about Halo 4. We know we did some things wrong. We heard you. Like, that was their big thing. They were like, yeah, no, we fucking heard you, alright? We understand, and we're fixing it. They were a little bit salty, I'll be honest. How much time did I spend trying this? The entirety of the speedrun? I mean, I improved time. I mean, I have world record already. I'm improving my own world record. But I mean, I have done speedrunning for 11 months now. Approaching, yeah, December is 11 months, so January is late December, early January is my first ever. No, I think it was late. I think my first stream was December 28th. Was my first speedrun stream. So
it's a long story, but I know what the didact's after.
I know that approaching 1 year.
The librarian
1 year streaming.
Snatched me from the system. But what I don't know is what she did to you.
Anyone who does death threats, so like, you guys fucking suck, I'm going to kill you guys if I ever see you guys who make this game. It's just like, alright, these are just things, it's like, you know, they don't listen to, they don't give a fuck. Because they're just words and people are morons, so.
Captain, what if we can spot the target for you with the laser designator?
Do it. Take up. Find the chief coordinates or somewhere with line of sight.
Looks like we're blocked. Chief, head down and find a way to destroy that shield.
Please don't be an exploding one. Nope, it's an exploding one. Well, I got through anyways. I was really lucky, I'll be honest. Most of the time, if I get an exploding ghost there, fucking the bitch guy kills me, so. Trying a new strat that might end up working very well. Oh, yeah, that was good.
We're at the gravity well.
If you're talking about, like, the things they took out of MCC, yeah, they're temporarily taking them out to let the server load settle down. You guys know, I mean, matchmaking has not been the best. If they add more playlists, that's more servers, that's slower times. You're gonna have to wait, longer times you're gonna have to wait for games. So they took it out to make it so that people could actually play multiplayer. So if that's what you're talking about. They're going to add it in. They're planning on adding in a lot of stuff right now. I just got IO world record, didn't I? I think I just beat the IO world record.